Hello everyone, I welcome all of you aboard on this beautiful little adventure presented by Astroport India. Welcome to the Backyard Scientist, a brand new video series where we will discuss about everything science. So without any further ado, let's jump straight into the video.
Let me introduce you to the first chapter in which we will deal with telescopes. In the first episode, we'll talk about the universe which is hidden from our eyes. Okay, so we all know that our universe is enormous in size. So big in fact that most of it is out of our reach. Out of reach in the sense that we will never be able to travel to those places. So, in order to bring those objects closer to us without having to travel there, we use telescopes. And when I say telescopes, the first thing which may come into your mind is mostly the visual telescope, using which we can see visually. But if we only use visual telescopes, then most of the universe will stay hidden from us. And you may ask, why is that so? And we are going to answer just that. So, as you may or may not know, the electromagnetic spectrum of light is divided into several parts. There is the visible light, which is responsible for why we see all the things in the universe. But light also comes as radio waves, microwaves, infrared waves, ultraviolet rays, which are also called the infamous UV rays from the sun, X-rays, and the gamma rays. And all of these are light which we cannot see because human eye can only see a particular range of wavelength of light, which is why that range is called the visible light. And the reason different objects emit light in different parts of the electromagnetic spectrum is because of their temperature. Cooler objects emit high wavelength, low energy light, while hot objects emit low wavelength but high energy light. And we have made telescopes to see objects in all the different wavelengths of light. For example, we have radio telescopes to see objects which emit radio waves. We have microwave telescopes to study the cosmic microwave background radiation. We have infrared telescopes to see things which emit infrared light. We have ultraviolet telescopes to see things which emit UV light. You get the idea basically. And all of these different telescopes have allowed us to see the parts and objects of the universe which will otherwise be hidden if we only use the visible telescopes. So, now that I have explained everything, it is time to visually understand these things by looking at some examples. So, here is the first image. You can see the Orion constellation. The view on the left side is what we see from our eyes or from a visual telescope. The view in the right is the view from an infrared telescope. You might think, why is it so different? It is because the infrared telescope captures the clouds which are at low temperatures and emitting infrared light, which is otherwise invisible to visual telescopes and the human eye. Now let's get to the second example. In this second image, you can see the sun. The view on the left side is what we see from visual telescopes, and the view in the right is the image from an ultraviolet telescope. And let me tell you, both these images were taken at the same time using two different telescopes. So, the image in the right shows the material which is much hotter and emitting ultraviolet light, which the visual telescopes just cannot see.
So now you understand why we say that most of the universe is hidden from us. Because when we look at something, we are not always able to see what is actually going on because there is so much which is hidden from us. And the telescopes that we have built allow us to see the bigger picture. So I'm sure that everyone is really excited to learn more about telescopes and why they are so important. So in the next video, we'll talk about a property of light which allowed us to build the very first telescope. I'll see you in the next video, and until then, clear skies.